back to JBBJR14. What did I bring with me today? Wanted to bring a topic to you guys. Tuners. How did it start? Usually actually started with one of the first generation SIs. And that was actually a Honda thing. It was always Honda and Toyota or one of the Japanese brands to start up this huge industry that you and me see today. You can go performance, you can go stance nation, static, or you could just go all out into building your motor or all out building the nice profile look of your car to sit just that flush to the wheel. It all based on preference today, and it's all accepted in the car industry. But why did I bring two SIs with me today? This has been a constant battle for a very long time versus the 8th generation SI and the 9th generation SI. These have been going in battle for so long because a lot of people seem to think that the 8th gen is a lot better. In some kind of ways that's true because a lot of people are really used to the K20 motor that's built into this vehicle. A lot of things you can do. There is a miles long way of parts you can go with this. If you wanted to slam it and put sick wheels on it, you can do D2s, K-Sports, your choice, BC, anything. Any company that does suspension works on this car. Or if you wanted to go into performance, Skunk Tube, E-Bach, Honda, K-Pro, anything. Takeda, Engine, everybody, Greddy, any company makes parts for these cars. It's more readily available on the K20 motor as versus the new platform of the K24 model that was built into the 9th generation SI, which is from 2012 to 2014. Going back and forth just a little bit, the 8th generation SI has gotten a lot of cred. It's got a lot of cred because it was helped by the EP3, the one that was built before this. And the reason for that was with the motor. A lot of people didn't like the body, a lot of people didn't like the shifter on the actual dashboard too much, and Honda revamped it for the 2006 to 2011. That was when the 8th gen was built. And it was a great car. Lacked technology though in today's market because of the fact that it was built during that time. But now, if you want an SI and you want all the latest stuff in it, you want climate control, you want backup camera, you want Bluetooth even. Yes, that's right. This car didn't even come with Bluetooth because of the way that the car is back in that time. Now back into the 9th generation SI. You can get all the features that you can get in a Honda Odyssey, a fully loaded V6 Touring, or majority of the features that you can get in this car now, which is pretty cool. And despite of the year growth, cars tend to get bigger and heavier and slower. Well, not technically slower, but 2,957 pounds versus 3,002 pounds. So from generation to generation, you only accumulated about 50 pounds, a little bit less. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad for the amount of weight versus the two cars. And this car's got a lot more stuff in it. It's got the lane departure warning camera. It's got more computers in it. It's got a bigger motor. It's got 0.4 liters motor bigger than this car. So it's got a bigger motor together, and it's only a 50-pound difference. That is very significant. So here I am in the 2009 8th Gen SI. To me, I like this one a lot better than the old one. I'm sorry, than the newer one. It's pretty normal in here. He said he got a stage 1. I think it's like a stage 1 or stage 2 clutch with a lighter flywheel, and he's also on E-Bach springs, which feel pretty good actually. It doesn't feel bad at all. The good thing about the crazy people favor the 8th Gen SI more because of the fact that it's a K20, and all Honda enthusiasts know what a K20 is. This thing can rev to 8,000 RPMs, and if you do like a Honda tune on it, or if you put work into the car, I've seen SIs that can achieve a 9,500 RPM redline, which is very high, and it sounds amazing. But again, no motor work done to the car. It's completely stock. Stock power is about 197 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque.
very weak numbers by what it sounds like. That this was the last year. This was the last model that everything was like normal Honda. Normal Honda key. We had to turn it. Very, very little technology in an SI from the 8th generation perspective. You got MP3, aux jack, and USB for your radio functions, and that was it. I mean, you could get navigation, but the old generation of Honda navigations was horrible. So most people didn't get it. What most people really like is, you know, the motor. And like I said, it's a 2.0, it's a 2-liter inline 4. But everyone really favors the Redline. And that's really not really pushing it. That's like 6,000 RPMs. So much fun. The thing about this car that everyone kind of likes is that you have to rev the nuts off of it to get it to go anywhere fast if you're trying to build up speed. If you're below 6,000, the VTEC engagement point's about 6,000 RPMs, and if you're not in that, the car feels very, very slow. But if you get into so much fun, man. This is one of the cars that I've always wanted to have, an 8th generation SI. They really lacked in the technology department. With this car, you don't have Bluetooth. There's not even Bluetooth integration for the phone. You either had to get a Bluetooth headset or talk on the phone, but again, in New York State, that's illegal now. So now we are in a 2014 Civic Si. I can tell you a little bit that this car is definitely more refined than the 2009. The shifter feels a little bit like, I like the shifter in the 2009 better, preferably because of the fact that it's kind of notchy a little bit, but it's a notchy in a good way. Like, you're getting in a third. This one, if you're not driving it as often, you're gonna notice that getting in the third, it can be a little bit difficult. It still feels raw. It still feels like an SI. It still has that nice exhaust burble. It still has that nice engine roar. And this is the 2014, by the way. So let's go to raw and power for a second. Like I said, it is not a K20. They decided that the easiest, most efficient way to get power out of a car without spending a lot of money developing a brand new engine, they carried it from the TSX, which makes this a 2.4 liter. VTEC engagement on the 8th gen is 6,000, while this one's 4,400. So you get VTEC earlier, you get max torque earlier, which is more than the 8th gen. So you're getting a better combination of both things at once. If, like me, one of the biggest reasons why I still prefer the 8th gen is because of the fact that you have that 8,000 RPM Redline versus this. Still good though, still meaty. Still pretty meaty. Yeah, you know what it is? You're shifting, you hear the motor, you hear everything, and you get all excited. It's not a street fighter. Again, this car, just like the 8th, and like I said, you have the rev to the nuts off of it for it to get anywhere quickly. If you're trying to move the car fast, you got to rev the nuts off of it to get anywhere. Yeah. So this car is so much fun. I really enjoy it. But again, I like the fact that you can rev the 8th gen so high. And like I said, with the tune on this car, well, on the 8th gen, you can get that thing. I've seen, my friend actually has a turbo SI 8th generation, and that car can rev, like I said, to 9,500 RPMs. That thing screams. This one, you still get the sensation of an SI, but it just doesn't rev as high. That's not necessarily the worst thing, because you don't make max power at max RPMs anyways. Halfway it. There we go. Yeah. So, drove both cars. Love both of them. But if I had to choose one today, which one would it be? Like I said, the 8th generation introduced me to high revving power. It's fun. It's just as fun. But this one is just as fun. And it has all the technology features. Which one would I pick? It's tough. But I will honestly have to say, if I had to pick one of these SIs today to own and keep, it would be the 8th gen, and I'll tell you why. The 8th gen introduced me to driving a stick shift car. It introduced me to Honda. It really did. I always wanted it. This car I always wanted. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to sit here and say that the 9th generation, oh, it's garbage, it's bad, I don't like it. I love this car. I love this, but it was introduced to this, and I've yet owned one, and I would still, to this day, love to own one. So like I said, subscribe, JVBJR14, subscribe and share the link. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the 8th gen.